Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It is an honor to have you here. So, for today's video, I just wanted to talk about self doubt that I've felt recently as an artist, give my thoughts on that, how I've been able to navigate it, and as I do so, um, there will be a time lapse of an attempted um, sort of art piece, I guess, more of a sketch in my opinion, as I share my thoughts on self doubt that I've felt quite a bit recently. So, as you can see, or as you're watching right now, I sketched this piece traditionally fast, and then I colored it digitally. It is inspired by a sketch I saw on Pinterest by the artist TB Choi, one of my favorite artists in the whole wide world. And this is my attempt of creating an original character from that same sketch. So, self doubt as an artist. There have been many times in my artistic life where I felt unsure as to how my art flows. I felt unsure as to the way I created. And feeling this is natural. It's something that every artist at one point or another goes through, and that's completely normal. But for me, it was very bad to the point where I was willing to compromise the future of my artistic career simply because I wasn't achieving the level of artistic progress that I thought I'd have by that time. And that took me down a spiral that I don't want to be in again, where the only thing that I sought out in the creation of my art pieces was imperfection. That's something that I constantly was just like, okay, this is not perfect. Without even taking into consideration that some of the things that I was drawing are things that I've never been able to draw in my life before, and now I'm able to draw them. And even then, at that point, I was telling myself, well, it's still not, it's still not perfect. So those are the kinds of thoughts that spiraled around my head earlier this year, as we head into March tomorrow. Or it could be already March or later in the year, depending on when you're watching this video. But I feel like we've all felt that. So even when making this drawing that you're watching right now, in regards to the sketching process, I didn't record half of the sketching process. That was unintentional. I'd forgotten. I didn't want to use it in a video, but then I decided why not, and so I recorded the other half. And even in regards to this sketch, it's something that I've only done once before, the traditional to digital thing, because I wanted it colored, and I'm not good at using color pencils, and I wanted to be able to make mistakes and undo them, and so I did it traditionally and then colored it digitally. But it was a struggle for me, finding colors and everything. And you're using a graphics tablet, so you're looking down at your tablet and then looking up at your screen and then back and forth. It's not as direct as, for example, using an iPad and an Apple Pencil. And so the struggle is real. And I feel like the emotional depth of self doubt in general is something that can be overcome by just accepting the fact that, okay, I'm not as good as this artist or that artist, but I am improving. I'm still drawing as often as possible, drawing every day and all that. I'm still improving. This might not be perfect, but nothing really is. Behind one masterpiece, there are 100 bad sketches and drawings that our favorite artists have done. So personally, I feel like how you fight it, I'm speaking from my perspective, is drawing every day. At least throughout the month. The only day that I didn't draw was yesterday, I believe. since the year started, I think the only day that I did not draw was yesterday, and that was because I wasn't even around. So I feel like the way to battle that self-doubt comes from finding a hack to be able to make yourself not think too much about the lack of progress in your art. And for me, it's seeing everything as practice. Every time, whether it's drawing a portrait, whether it's gesture drawing, whether it's a piece like what you're watching right now, I always take it from a point of, okay, it's still practice. This is just practice. I'll get better eventually. And another thing is just community. Community is another big thing. I think for me, just having, even if it's an accountability partner or just someone that you can bounce ideas off of, whether it's on social platforms like Webtoon or Instagram or TikTok, or maybe a small community you've built on Discord. It could be a friend, it could be a family member, just someone who can help you celebrate small wins. And I think small wins are a key to being able to overcome that self-doubt, is not looking at the grand scale of things, but breaking it down into minute things so you can be able to focus harder on, being better without overthinking about how good or bad your art looks. And I've also been telling myself that it's not about being perfect now, and it never will be. It's about the journey. 2 years ago, I had attempted to participate in the December drawing challenge, where you draw a Disney character for every day of the month of December. And there are some characters that I attempted to draw that were extremely difficult, but eventually I succeeded. I just said, this is just for fun and all that. So in summary, take a step back and say, why do I doubt myself? Why do I think I can't do this thing? And then instead of looking at the larger picture, break it down into smaller chunks, small wins, like, yay, I drew a hand today. I wasn't able to do that 2 months ago. Or I drew a portrait without a reference. I wasn't able to do that a month ago. Or, I shaded perfectly for the first time. I wasn't able to do that before. Once you break it down to small wins, you'll be able to doubt yourself less and be able to praise yourself more for the things that you do make progress in. And that's just about what I wanted to talk about today. It's something that I have battled with, and I feel like I'm finally coming out of in regards to dealing with that feeling of self-doubt. Am I enough? This sketch is not perfect. All those things are thoughts that we have all had at one point or another, and I'm very glad for the communities that I'm part of and the people that I know who have encouraged me to break out of that spiral before it becomes something detrimental to my health as well. You don't want to stay in that place for a long time. Trust me, you don't. And getting out of it as soon as possible is something that's definitely going to help. And that will be it for today's video. A little announcement that I wanted to make, just a few things. I have a podcast that I'm running, 2 podcasts actually. So one is basically like a life podcast. So relationships, things about time and social media and all that. The link for that will be in the description below. And connected to that, I also have one on wildlife, where I just talk about creatures and animals, because that's something that I am extremely passionate about. If that's your sort of thing, feel free to go check those out. I also run a newsletter where I write about basically anything under the sun, and I'm trying to put as much input into it as possible. And as mentioned in the previous video, feel free to comment what direction you want or you'd want to see this channel going. Would you guys want vlogs? Would you want behind the scenes? Are there any specific topics you want me to talk about? Are there any art related stuff, any things that you want me to try to draw, any challenges you want me to participate in? I am very, very much willing to be able to take that upon myself to fulfill those wishes. If you have any questions about my art or me or anything related to this channel, I'll be very, very happy to answer. And last but not least, I am about to start live streaming. I don't know whether it'll be on YouTube, Twitch, or both, but for now I'm going to say YouTube, and that will be something that I will post in a community post or here on YouTube. I will share that there for more details. And yeah, that's mostly it. I'll try to live stream at some point in the future. I won't say when. Could be weeks from now, days from now, even months from now. But that's something that I'm fully well committed to doing. So thank you for spending this 10.5-ish minutes with me. I am very glad to have you here as always. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.